Now, as many of you already know that many of the European countries were voting if whether the EU Commission impose tariffs onto EV cars like Nio. Some of you might already know that they voted, or majority of the countries voted in favor of tariff to be increased onto the Chinese EV makers like Nio. You will know that Nio has got, or because it complied with the investigation but was not sampled, they have 20.7%, which will be imposed if this is to be finalized. The reason why I'm saying if this is to be finalized, well, the European Commission, of one of the European Commission executives, did indicate that they are still open in talks, so they can be more that comes out of this, or we might end up to seeing these tariffs to be waived off completely. But as it stands, majority of the countries that participated voted in favor of the tariffs to be increased. But there are those countries like Germany and the others that voted against these tariffs to be increased. I mean, Germany, it was expected to vote against because companies like Mercedes, BMW did say that they spoke to Germany to vote against this tariff increase because they realize the kind of harm it will be able to bring onto the European market. So it is for that reason that they were in talks with the country to vote against of course, the tariff increase. Now, out of the 27 countries which were supposed to participate onto these votes for tariff increase onto Chinese EVs, 12 countries abstained from voting, and these 12 countries are Belgium, Czech Republic, Greece, Spain, Croatia, Cyprus, Luxembourg, Austria, Portugal, Romania, Sweden, and Finland. They represent 31% of the EU population. So these countries, they abstained, or they did not want to participate from these votes, whereas 10 countries voted in favor of the tariff increase, and these countries are France, Italy, Netherlands, Poland, Denmark, Ireland, Bulgaria, Estonia, Lithuania, and Latvia. All these countries now, they represent 45.99% of the EU population. So these countries voted in favor of the tariff increase. I mean, it was very interesting, or it was quite questionable to see companies like Netherlands and Denmark, which these two countries, Nio, it's already selling, coming and voting, of course, in favor of this. They see the potential. I think all in all, we have concluded to say that these countries are scared that the storm that will be brought by the Chinese EV makers will make their countries in order to be able to compete, because tech-wise we know that new energy vehicle cars coming from China like Nio are just out of this world, are so far ahead, which is why they know that it will result into them, or into their companies in their countries, not doing that well in terms of sales. The looks, new energy vehicles in China, they do got the looks, which again, it is for this reason that we see them of course voting in favor of the tariff increase. Now, there were 5 countries that voted against the tariff increase, and these 5 countries represent 22.65% of the population in EU or Europe. And these companies that voted against this tariff increase on Chinese EVs include Germany, Hungary, Malta, Slovenia, and Slovakia, which is something that, of course, it was pretty exciting, or it was at least good to see that there are countries that are against this. And like I said in the beginning of this video, it was not surprising to see countries like Germany opposing this, because I think they will be the ones that will take a serious hit, because German brands, we know that in China they are selling pretty good, pretty decent. They've got pretty good, decent figures, and therefore increasing tariffs on the Chinese EV companies, they will result, or when China retaliates, it will result into Germany suffering or taking a serious hit, which is something that will not be good. Now, as a reminder, you will know that Nio, because it complied with the investigations from the EU Commission but was not sampled, they will have to get the 20.7% tariff increase. Yeah, which is bad, right? But the good thing is that the Nio CEO saw this thing from afar, which is why they are introducing, or they have a third or a second sub-brand called Firefly, which the Nio CEO said, regardless of this 20.7% increase, that model will still do very well in China, meaning that they will still see some good profits from that model, even with this tariff increase, which is something that is just so incredible, amazing to see. So Tesla will be getting 7.8%. Nio, Xpeng, and the others, or a couple of others, will be getting 20.7%. BYD will be getting 17%. Geely will be getting 18.8%. So this is are the tariffs as they stand. But like I said, the good thing is that the EU Commission said that they are still open to talks with China, which is something that anything can happen or can still happen. Yes, these countries, or majority of the countries, voted against or voted in favor rather of the tariff increase, but I must say, it is still open for negotiation. There are still going to be talks, that is absolutely. But what we read as a response from China after this was made public, they are against this tariff increase because it will just open trade wars, and this is just unnecessary. They need to find a solid ground because, I mean, let's face it, let the competition be fair. I know that Europe want China to build their cars in Europe, which of course, that will come. I mean, for a company like Nio, they have indicated that for them to build a factory in Europe, they will need to be selling at least 5,000 units a month. And with Firefly, I think they should be able to hit that target. I mean, a couple of weeks ago, 2-3 weeks ago, we read that Nio was looking into buying an Audi factory which is about to shut down somewhere in one of the countries in Europe. But apparently Nio came and just didn't want to comment on the matter, of which we don't know if that was truthful or not. But in the future, I think Nio will definitely be looking at opening a factory or a car factory in Europe. And you will know that also Beijing also came and said that they request that there are new energy vehicle companies like Nio, some of the products they must just, or some of the parts for the cars, they might just import them from China into Europe because of just protection of their technology, which I think it makes sense. If they take everything there, then China, of course, some of the European cars will be able to duplicate and even make much better technology than what we are seeing onto the Chinese EVs like Nio. So yeah, man, this is what unfolded today. And yeah, Germany, I thank Germany because they listened to their car makers, or to their local car producers like Mercedes and BMW, who pleaded and said that they need to vote against the tariff increase. So yeah, Netherlands, Denmark, yeah, I don't know what's going to happen there, but anyways, we just hope things get better with time. The negotiations are still ongoing. And yeah, it is, though the votes have been cast in, this is not final. Anything can still change, and therefore we can still see companies like Nio still getting maybe a situation where maybe they are comfortable or they get way better than the kind of tariffs that are going to be imposed of 20.7%. So we look forward. I look forward. I just thought I'd give you this quick update. Tell me what you think about this. I think we need to still, yeah, just brace ourselves for what's coming. But anyways, companies like Nio, it's good that they've got brands like Firefly, who, regardless of the tariff increase, the CEO has said that they will still flourish in Europe, which is just amazing. It's good news to investors. Otherwise, I just thought I'd just give you this quick update. Tell me what you think about this. Do your own DD before you buy Nio for the very first time. Otherwise, that's all from me. I wish you nothing but the best in your stock market investing journey, and God bless you all.